Can a close-range SPAA fight tanks? In the 1980s, the US military was seriously considering this possibility. After all, around that time, there was a very intriguing and highly unusual project suggested by the Swiss defense company Oerlikon, a special air defense anti-tank system that used missiles and was equally effective against targets on the ground and in the air. The Swiss designed the ADATS to protect units on the move and to defend airfields and other important pieces of infrastructure. To meet the requirements of the US DoD and the Canadian Department of National Defense, engineers of the company made sure that their turret, fitted with missile launchers, could be mounted on top of the M113 and the Bradley, as well as the Moag Piranha sometime down the road. Oerlikon was responsible for developing the FCS and the radar, while a company called Martin Marietta developed the MIM-146 surface-to-air missile. As far as SPAA systems go, the missile was pretty unusual, as its shaped-charge warhead could pierce up to 900 millimeters of steel. That's more than enough to defeat Soviet tanks. Furthermore, this SPAA system could track up to 8 targets at a distance of 25 kilometers, with special provisions made to make the vehicle extra effective against helicopters and other low-altitude targets. The US military was very enthusiastic about the future of ADATS. After all, Martin Marietta designed their missile specifically to perform well against enemy armor. However, in the early 1990s, the vehicle was tested, and the results were rather disappointing. The ADATS installed on the M2 Bradley chassis did not live up to the client's expectations. The US military felt that the SPAA system was not effective or reliable enough. As a result, the US canceled their order. Canada, on the other hand, went ahead with their purchase and bought 36 units on the M113 chassis. They were never used in actual combat, but were still deployed several times. The ADATS systems were in service until 2012. Compared to other systems of the same caliber, the Swiss SPAA didn't last very long. Not to mention it was adopted during a time of relative global peace. It's worth noting, though, that there's a single ADATS unit that is still in service in Thailand. The military of the country integrated a stationary variant of the missile system into their Skyguard AA. There are a couple of ADATS variants that are available in War Thunder as well. At rank 8 of the British tech tree, there's a Canadian production variant based on the M113 chassis. And there's also a Bradley prototype in the American tech tree. The American variant is notable for its secondary armament, a quick-firing Bushmaster autocannon that's very handy against ground vehicles and helicopters. Granted, most modern tanks have additional armor packages on the sides, which means that your very first burst is likely to be eaten by enemy ERA blocks. To avoid a counterattack, try to target the gun barrel or the tracks to immobilize the enemy. Just like other high-rank SPAA systems, the ADATS is equipped with a powerful radar that allows it to target enemy drones and aircraft at a great distance. Keep in mind that having your radar always on is not the best idea. Modern aircraft carry radar warning receivers and will go low at any sign of danger, and often without one. That's why we suggest that the radar should be turned off and on as needed. Just check the skies from time to time for any signs of enemy drones. The MIM-146 missiles have a typical trajectory and maneuverability for surface-to-air missiles. They're best suited for targeting fast-moving objects at long and medium ranges. When targeting aircraft at close range, it's best to launch with a bit of a lead, without locking onto the target with the radar. Using the missile against tanks is much more challenging. Due to the placement of the launchers, at distances less than half a kilometer, some shots may hit trees, cars, or the ground. Since the missile is not a tandem charge weapon, aim at areas that are not covered by ERA blocks and make sure that it won't collide with any obstacles. The good news is that the missile has enough explosive filler to often destroy enemy tanks with the slightest of grazes. The Canadian ADATS is pretty similar to the American one, but there's one big difference. This variant does not have an autocannon. It's equipped with smoke launchers, though, and they make it much harder for helicopters to strike back. Naturally, as it's not fitted with an autocannon, the Canadian ADATS operates more like a regular SPAA and not a multi-purpose vehicle. Even though the ADATS was not used in anger in real life, in War Thunder, it's an effective SPAA system that can also fight off tanks, just like its designers wanted. What do you think about the ADATS? Tell us in the comments below.